What has Excelsior's domain been picking up from eBay? Let's have a look.
I am boring of Borg. All I do is sit here and light up just a little bit. I think you should know I'm very depressed. Yes, I'm with you for a rather random collection of objects this evening, ladies and gentlemen, of which this is one. An Eagle Moss light up Borg cube, which literally just does that. That's all it does. It lights up a little bit, the pattern's all exactly the same on all of the sides, apart from the underside where the battery compartment is, and that's all it does. I was dubious about picking it up at the time, but you know, I did, and this is it. It's quite big, so it kind of works as a bit of a sort of set piece thing, but come on guys, it hasn't even got an on-off switch that I can find. So once you put the batteries in, it just keeps glowing until the batteries run out, apparently. That's it. So yeah, don't necessarily recommend it for play value, it has to be said, but yeah, you know, resistance is futile, but also quite boring. Okay, so what else have I randomly been picking up? I've had one of those evenings where, well, in fact, it started this morning when I got splashed by a car via a puddle, and my day kind of went like that. And then the one lead I need to do something, despite the numerous leads I have in the house, I don't appear to be able to locate. So I'm going to have to buy one in, which is just irritating. So I shall now, oh, and I lost an auction as well, so I'll cheer myself up by showing you this. Now, I've probably shown you this before, actually. But this rather lovely beastie is a DX God Phoenix from not Battle of the Planets, but Gatchman Series 2, which was sold as a Battle of the Planets Phoenix, which it clearly isn't. But this is the DX version. It's very easy to spot when you know what you're looking for. It's got the yellow plastic on the hangers for the small vehicles, which this one did not come with. But this one came with a full beak assembly. And these are often missing on the smaller version, which is a lot smaller than this one, and this is really heavy. But I picked this one up really as a sort of just display one, because I do have another one boxed. But I thought, you know, because it's already a little bit yellow, it doesn't really matter if it goes any more yellow. But it's not chronic. The wings are a little bit loose, but you know, overall, it's not doing too badly. Let's add some light scene, and as you can see, when it's well lit. The white on the body or the die casts, and this is heavy, it's really heavy, but the white on the die cast is still really bright, which is nice. So no vehicles, but it's got all the sort of the hatches that would have housed the vehicles. And I think you probably can get repro ones, at least the small ones these days. But the other nice thing about this version of it is that the landing gear fold down into the body a little bit. So when you're flying it around, they're not stuck in a down position like they are in the smaller version of it, which is nice. And as with the small version, the neck can do this sort of pop-up bit. So there's a vehicle would sit inside there and be launched out at the front there. So you know, quite a bit of playability to it. Very, very solid, nice. You know, one of the latter day Poppy products before Bandai abandoned the Poppy branding. So yeah, I just sort of saw it and almost got it on reflex because they weren't charging stupid money for it. So I thought it would be rude not to rescue it. Now, another thing I got off eBay recently, which I was hoping I would have picked up at a toy fair originally, but I saw this one on eBay and it had something with it which I thought was quite unusual that I hadn't seen before. And here we have Maximilian from Disney's The Black Hole, but he came with a stand, which I understand is original, and his foiling on his arms is very nice. It's not really blemished at all, which again is unusual with these. Normally you see them with quite a lot of sort of blemishes on the arms there. But I rather like this because it's an original stand. So these were produced by Mego. And I do also have his arch rival here. And I think I've seen him before, but that's Vincent there. So really nice pair to have from the Black Hole. It was one of my favourites growing up, the Black Hole film. I've probably said this before many times, but it's really dark for Disney, or it was for Disney at that time anyway. But they're great characters. Maximilian didn't say a word, he was just evil. But also incredibly loyal, bless him. So, and they both were. They were both very, very loyal to their respective human, sort of, I want to say guardians. What do you call someone who's being protected by them? Protectees? I don't know. But anyway, you get the idea. So yeah, nice to pick him up in that condition as well. You know, he's a really nice piece to display, and the stand is, you know, nothing to write home about, but it's a stand and it enables him to stand. So there is that. What else have I picked up from eBay? Well, you'll see one of these recently, but mine is the not fancy version. So Gareth was showing this the other day. Now this is the Corgi re-release of the Batmobile, but it's not the Corgi Club version. This is, as he refers to it, the retail one. So I will have a look at this alongside my original Corgi Batmobile at some point on another video. But I just thought that was quite a nice one to have an example of, because it is a nice sort of throwback. I've no idea why Batman's got a sort of a red chest bat symbol there, but that's the thing apparently. So yeah, feels good. It's got those sort of gold on the wheels on the Batmobile there, and it's got Batman and Robin, which is always well, I say it's got Robin. Has it got Robin? I can't quite tell with it being in the box actually. But anyway, I will discover on opening whether both of them are actually in there. So it's got a Batmobile owner's badge and rockets apparently as well, which is nice. Oh, actually I can see Robin from this angle now. Yeah, he's in there. Cool. So yeah, I just picked up that because I thought it would be rude not to, as I've got the original available to me, of course, in my sort of collection of Bat things various. Now this last thing is not something I've ever really been brave enough to do before, but 3D printed. But that's just the stand, of course. The main item is this. This is, I've literally just got this out of its packet to have a look at. Now then, there might not be many of you who will know what on earth that is. But that is a Space 1999 laser firearm, basically. So you hold it like this, and you zap it, you zap it on the top like that. And as you can see, you've got a kill setting, and you've got a stun setting. But this is all 3D printed, and obviously then sort of painted after the fact. So as you'd expect, I think, with these things, you can sort of see the striations, the layering there of how it's been built up. But it's quite nice in the hand. It's quite light, but it feels quite solid. And it's probably screen accurate, I imagine, you know, so far as they can. It's got, you know, various buttons and stuff on it, and the grip seems pretty decent. I mean, I don't think it's intended for long-term play. I mean, I can see there's, you know, the finish isn't absolutely perfect, but then I doubt many real-world props were absolutely perfect all the time, because they were props at the end of the day and they did get battered around. But, you know, for those who understand what it is, it looks like what it's supposed to be. So I'm actually quite impressed by that. I really wasn't sure whether or not it was going to be any good, but it's interesting because the seller clearly does a range of stuff. You know, he's obviously doing a lot of sort of Star Trek type stuff as well, you know, that you can pick up, and you can get Blake 7 transporter bracelets and all that sort of stuff, you know. So if you are of a certain age, it's very much aimed at you, I think, the sort of stuff that they're producing. So that does display quite happily on its stand. I mean, it is what it is, you know. It's good. I like the fact that it's got the sliding functionality on the you know, sort of the beam setting. I think that's clever of them to have done that. And yeah, I mean, I'm actually sort of I'm not disappointed with it. I'm not disappointed with it at all. I don't generally go for sort of, cosplay sort of prop type stuff. I don't particularly need it for that reason, but I just saw it and it tickled me, and I just thought, it might be interesting to show you guys, and you can tell me what you think of it. But I don't know that I can't remember whether or not this was ever a toy that was ever actually released, at the time the series was out. I don't know if they bothered doing a replica of it. I mean, obviously there were the Dinky Eagles and a few other models of the Eagles, and there were a few action figures and so on, but I'm not quite sure if they actually made one of these. So, answers in the comments, I guess, if you happen to know if they did or not. I have this feeling that maybe I saw one once in a toy fair. The memory is slightly playing tricks with me here. I don't know if it was that or if it was something else Space 1999 flavoured, but in any event, here it is, a modern day version of it, and just goes to show you what the sort of thing you can do with 3D printing, because someone's obviously done a halfway decent job with it. I mean, as I say, it's definitely got a few little imperfections. It's not done as well as something from a mainline manufacturer would do, but who else would bother with it these days, So yeah, just a random try of something that I've not really indulged in before, because I guess that unless you really know someone who's got a really solid reputation for this sort of stuff, you just don't know what you're going to end up with. But because it's all sort of pre-painted and stuff, I don't think they've done too bad a job with that at all when all said and done. So yeah, cool, good stuff. So yeah, slightly bitty one tonight, unfortunately. The slight irony is the other pickups that I've got of late have actually been shelving, which is fractionally more exciting than it sounds, because it does mean that I'm finally going to be able to do some rearranging in my IKEA Detolf cabinets, which should allow me to display more things more clearly and chew up some of my dead space in there. So what I'll probably do is a sort of before and after video. I think I've got some new actual full shelves to put in them, which is probably going to be a nightmare with the Detolfs made up. But I'm going to sort of suck it up and try it over the coming days. And if I've got any hair left, I'll come back to you after that. So I will say cheers for now.